Hello and welcome to Create the Flow. I'm Monica Freeman, host and founder of Monica Freeman Studios and Unewell. I am here to guide you in aligning with your soul's purpose, trusting your inner voice, and building a life that you truly love. You were born with a purpose, and your intuition already knows the way. Hello, my love. Welcome to the show. Today, I want to talk about why your manifestations are taking way longer than you anticipated and how you can expedite that process. Most of the time, the reason why you are unable to manifest is because you have a limiting belief that is blocking you from the very thing that you want. You also may lack clarity in what you want. So let's talk about how you can manifest and hopefully quantum leap into this manifestation and start to see things sooner rather than later. The very first thing I want you to do is build clarity in the thing that you want. We have to build hyper specificity because the universe only knows our energy. It doesn't actually know the things that we want. It knows that highest frequency. And when we speak aloud what we want, it knows more about what we want. So if we're just saying, I want a house, well, it can send you any house. But if you say, I want a 4-bedroom, 3-bath house on the beach, that's 2 stories, that has a chef's kitchen and a pool, then it's getting to that level of high vibe frequency. We're speaking with conviction. There's such clarity. There's little room for error. We know exactly what we want. The more details, the better. And I know in my personal experience, I have found that you can manifest things you do want and things you don't want. So the more clarity, the better it is for you, because not only is it clear to the universe what you want, but it also keeps you aligned with that specific goal. So you're not wavering in the thing that you want. The next thing is, when you're manifesting, it's really important that you set realistic goals. If you're somebody who's manifested several times and you know how to do this and this is second nature to you, then you can skip this step. But if you are not somebody who manifests all the time, it's really important to set realistic goals. The realistic goals are good for your subconscious because you probably have a limiting belief right now that we already have to unblock to manifest. We have to clear any belief that you have been self-sabotaging this manifestation with. So we don't want to add another limiting belief to the equation. And how this looks, just in case you're not familiar with limiting beliefs, is when you set an unrealistic goal for yourself, it may not be unrealistic in your lifetime. But if you want something to happen, let's say in the next 6 months, and it's something that is a huge quantum leap from where you are now. So for instance, let's say that you want to buy your dream home in 6 months, but you currently don't know where you want to move. You have no clarity in your vision. You don't actually have money set aside for it. You don't have a realtor. There's nobody to help you. You probably are not going to manifest that house in 6 months because there's too many little steps that you have to take to become aligned to that goal. It would be better to say, I hope to find the home that I want to buy in the next 6 months and then start the process. Or even something simpler, I hope to find a house in this price point that I like. The more we allow our subconscious programming to feel safe with the thing that we want, the more we believe it is possible. If you do not believe your manifestation is possible, no matter what happens, you will block yourself from reaching that thing because everybody has a baseline. And it is the thing that basically you feel comfortable with. It can be a set amount of money. It can be anything. In this case, it's your specific manifestation. So whatever you realistically feel you can achieve is your baseline. Once you start to try to manifest anything above that baseline, you will unconsciously push that goal down and down and down. You will create things to stand in your way, excuses not to do it. You will block yourself from that very manifestation because you don't actually believe it's possible for you. So when we are creating these realistic goals, it's important to note that we want to create a goal that's not too far from the goal that we're already at. So just a very small hypothetical. Let's say that you make $5,000 every month right now in the business that you have, and you want to quantum leap to $20,000 months. Your subconscious mind is probably not going to feel very safe quantum leaping $15,000. However, if you say, I want to make 7,000 or 10,000, that's more realistic because now you're maybe doubling your income if you try to quantum leap to 10,000. It's a little bit more realistic. So you can actually feel safe in that because you feel like it's possible. However, if you were to truly try to manifest 20,000, that's a huge goal. It's not to say that it can't happen. It can absolutely happen. You can manifest anything you desire. It's about making your subconscious mind, your nervous system feel safe holding that thing. And right now, if it's not familiar with that, if it doesn't have a program that's ever done that, it doesn't believe it can do that. Right now, it believes it can make $5,000 a month because that's what it's done. So maybe making $6,000 or $7,000 a month would be a good way to build up that subconscious programming and that nervous system, and then going to 10,000 and then 15,000 and so on. You see how you want to build as you feel safe? Because our nervous systems have a set of programs that they have been indoctrinated with. So we have literally been storing all of these programs. And however we have been living life up to this point, we have created safety or threats in the body. So our nervous system is designed to protect us. It sees everything that it doesn't know as a threat. So all of these subconscious blocks that you're unaware of, all of these things around you that are blocking you are actually patterns and beliefs that you've stored unconsciously for years and years and years. And you've imprinted that pattern on your nervous system. So now when you go to make a choice, your body goes back to the program that it knows. So when you're going to manifest, if you're trying to manifest something that your body doesn't know, it says, wait, hold on. I don't know what this looks like, but you're scaring me. I don't want to move. 6 months feels really soon. We haven't even started packing. Where's the money coming from? How will we get there? Where are we going to live? Who's going to come with us? What if we can't keep the house? What if we don't make enough money? What if the house isn't as good as this house? All these thoughts start coming up because your nervous system starts operating from fear instead of trust and faith and conviction. So in order to manifest, you have to rewrite the subconscious program that's been running on a loop in the background for years and years and years that is telling you that you can't have that dream house, that you can't make $20,000. You have to rewrite that, and then you have to not only rewrite that, then you have to set that realistic goal so you can show your nervous system, hey, look, I got you. We're going to make an extra $1,000 this month. So now we just made $6,000. We're going to manifest an extra $1,000 this month. And next month, we're going to do $3,000. And then maybe on the third month, we're going to quantum leap to $15,000. You just don't know what's possible. Everything becomes possible when your nervous system feels safe receiving. When your nervous system does not feel safe, it will try to challenge you because it's going to try to protect you. It's going to go into this contraction state where it's like, okay, I don't like that idea. I'm not going to give you that. I'm not giving it to you. No. I'm going to give you every reason to talk yourself out of it. I'm going to self-sabotage you. I'm going to push it away. I am not. Think of it as a second person who's like the devil on your shoulder trying to tell you, don't do that. That's going to get you in a lot of trouble. Don't do that. And then you've got your angel, your little soul over here saying, no, trust me. You're going to be okay. You just need to take a chance. And when you see that it works out, you'll trust me. But unfortunately, you got to trust the soul before you take the chance. So we're trying to rewrite this nervous system so that you can get rid of that devil, which is your ego, and you can tap into the soul, which is your intuition, and live fully in alignment. The next thing that you need in order to manifest is authenticity. You will never manifest something that you don't authentically want. So if you truly, in your heart of hearts, don't want a new home, if you have no desire to move into a bigger house, let's say, you're not going to manifest a bigger house because, first of all, you will keep self-sabotaging yourself because you don't truly want that thing. But also, the universe is never going to give you something that you don't actually want. The universe planted all these things internally inside of you that you dreamed of. So it's going to provide those things to you. And if by some lucky break, you do actually manifest something that you don't want, you're going to get a redirection. It's not going to last because you might feel like this is awesome. Everything worked out for me. And then all of a sudden you're going to have like a universal test or a dark night of the soul or something that's going to really challenge you to make sure that you wanted that thing. And hopefully it's not when you get into that big dream house that you lose the house and that you have to go back to living in the small apartment. I would rather just not have the house at all, right? And live in true authenticity and manifest the thing that I do want. So when you're thinking about manifestation, you really have to take every step into account and make sure you're doing it right. And the very last thing that you need for manifestation is embodiment. As soon as you have clarity and you know you're laser focused on that, whatever that manifestation is, whatever that dream is, that tangible thing. And then once you have that, and you have created a safe space for your nervous system, so you've regulated your nervous system and you've rewritten that limiting belief, and you've set that realistic goal that your limiting beliefs now no longer fear. They're not trying to repel you. They're actually trying to make you expand. Now that you have done that and you are ready to start manifesting, and it is truly authentically aligned. Whatever the thing is you want to manifest is something that genuinely was placed in your heart. It is authentic to you, not your best friend, not somebody on social media you're trying to compete with, not that thing that your parents want you to do because they feel like that's best for you. This is truly authentically aligned with you. Now you have to embody the person who has that thing. The person who has the dream home shows up every day. That person is confident. They are going to work with this attitude like, I am great. Life is happening for me. I am good. They are waking up early. They are working out. They're eating healthy. They're living their best life. They're keeping their house clean. They're inviting people over to enjoy this beautiful place, maybe having family gatherings. They're thanking every single ounce of that house, saying gratitude all day long. They're sitting in this high vibe energy. They feel so good in their body, and they stay in that frequency. Manifestation is not just speaking affirmations all day and hoping that something materializes in front of you. It's actually a job. It's a job because you have to create a lifestyle with these habits. You have to take each one of these steps and do it daily. You have to program your body. It becomes this new conditioning that just becomes your lifestyle. And the really cool part about that is when it becomes your lifestyle, then you start to quantum leap. Then you start to see things happening. I'll never forget the time that I manifested a $200,000 month. It was the very first time I ever manifested that. So it was foreign to me at the time. I'll never forget the time that I was just sitting out by the pool and manifested my dream house. I'll never forget the first client that I got by just telling the universe, I want to get a client by my dog's birthday. That was literally my very first client when I opened up my first business ever. So many things that I manifested happened so fast. I'm talking about in record time, less than a month. Big, big, big things. But it's because I had already worked through my limiting beliefs. I already had conviction it was going to work out. I was already aligned with the energy of the creator, and I knew exactly what I wanted. So I was already acting like the person who had that thing. Manifestation gets to be so beautiful when you lock in every single one of these things and you do it every single day, like I said, and create a lifestyle out of it. So if you are not manifesting, think about each one of these steps. Do you have clarity, like hyper specificity in your vision? Do you know absolutely without a doubt what you want? All the fine little details. Do you? And right now, if you have that clarity, have you set a realistic goal? Something that your nervous system feels safe with? Do you actually have a tangible goal that you can say with conviction, I feel safe with this? And do you have any limiting beliefs that are blocking you, that are telling you that's not possible, that's not possible? If you have any doubts, we have to go internally and rewrite that subconscious programming because your nervous system has to feel safe holding the thing that you want. That's honestly probably the most important thing that you need to even hear out of all of this. But once you have that and you feel really, really safe in that, and you feel like you are elevated, you are operating at this highest frequency, that you are in the conviction that this is working out for you, and you are embodying that, you are going to start to see things happen so quickly. So today I challenge you to get really clear about the thing that you want and see if you're checking all the boxes that I mentioned. And if you are actually really aligning yourself to your soul, to making sure that you have that clarity, that hyper specificity, to making sure that you have a realistic goal and that your nervous system feel safe holding that you've rewritten any limiting beliefs, that you are truly authentically aligned in the goal that you want for yourself, and that you are stepping in to the power, to the embodiment of that version of you in the future who already has that thing. Stop thinking about manifesting and start thinking about becoming the person who already has the thing. Just act like that person. Show up like that person. Radiate at that energy and DM me and let me know how your life shifts in a whole new way. If you want to learn more about this, I have a program that's called You Aligned, and we tap into manifestation and we quantum leap timelines so that we can bring the things that we want into this tangible physical realm. So thank you so much for tuning into this. I love you so much, and I cannot wait for you to DM me and tell me all about your manifestations coming to fruition. I'll see you on the next one. Thank you so much for tuning in to today's episode. If you'd like more information, you can follow along on Instagram at Create the Flow Podcast or find me personally at Monica Freeman. And if you enjoyed this episode, please be sure to leave a review and share it with a friend.